You are listening to Let's Talk by Broke Boys.
Hey guys, it's Dan here from Broke Boys. I just wanted to go over a couple of things before we jump into this week's episode of Let's Talk. First things first, and really important to mention, we filmed this about a month and a half ago. So this was way before the coronavirus outbreak. Halfway through or at some point in this podcast, you will hear or see that we do speak regarding the coronavirus. We shrug it off as if it's not important, and obviously that has changed. I also wanted to cover it just to let you know that we weren't breaking any government guidelines and we were filming this before any laws were put in place. The next thing I want to cover is a message that I left at the beginning of the last two podcasts. The message that I spoke about was regarding Broke Boys at the Farm, and I said that you would have to wait and see and stay posted for when tickets were released for the show. Of course, since then, mass gathering bans have been put in place because of the coronavirus outbreak, and we are now awaiting more information as to when the show will go ahead. As of right now, we have no additional information and can only wait and see what happens. I'd also like to notify you guys that we are still shipping out products on our website. Available currently is a reduced range due to restricted capabilities of shipping. On the website, we still have our full sticker range, however, we only have a few clothing products available. If you are to go onto the website and order both a sticker and a clothing item, these will be shipped separately. Clothing items are now being shipped directly from our suppliers. Please also understand, guys, that delivery times will be delayed. Our current processing time stays the same at around about 48 hours. However, you can expect 10 to 15 working days for your item to arrive. This is due to reduced staffing at Royal Mail and Parcel Force. If you are interested in grabbing yourself any products whatsoever, make sure you head over to the website www.brokeboysuk.co.uk. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Thank you very much for listening, and from everyone at Broke Boys, we hope you are staying safe and staying at home. Welcome to Let's Talk, episode 5. Today I've got Helen Stanley with me. I think what I'm going to ask is go through, tell us who you are, what you do, and don't be modest, because everyone I've asked so far, they go, oh yeah, and they said like the smallest sentence. So just tell us in full, basically, what it is you do, etc.
Okay, so I'm a car customiser. Mm-hmm. I work on a show called Goblin Works Garage, which is on Quest in the UK, and then globally it's on like Most Trend in America and Discover and D-Max everywhere else. And then I've also done another little show called I'm Not Driving That with Ali A on BBC iPlayer, which is for kind of younger drivers. And basically it's all about custom cars. Yeah. I love cars to pieces, and I've ended up just being on TV. Really wasn't what I intended, but it's what's happened. And yeah, just live, breathe, everything cars.
Yeah. I've kind of noticed that from the programs and stuff. Like you can tell you're like an enthusiast. I want to go back to like the beginning. Obviously, we just been talking off camera, saying a load of stuff. Like you've been telling me some things. So, how did you? Let's start with how did you get into cars? Like, what's your effectively like your history? Like, why cars?
Yes.
Especially as a. It sounds so bad of me, but especially as a girl.
Yeah,
because I've struggled for girl guests.
Yeah, so, you said like it was hard to find anybody.
Yeah, I put out a shout out the other day on story saying, I sat down, I thought to myself, I put out a shout out a couple of weeks ago, said, who would you like to see? Yeah. Every request I had was a male, but I never noticed. And then it wasn't until the other day, I think I looked at the Polaroids and was like, oh my God, I've only had guys on. Like, damn, like sort yourself out. So yeah, I sat there the other day, put another shout out, got quite a few girl requests, but then it's like, I don't know, like for every 100 guys you get 20 girls or 10 girls. So yeah, how did you get into?
Randomly, because I used to work in the fashion industry. I was a visual merchandiser, and I got to a point where I just kind of thought, like, it's a great job, but I really, really want to work with cars. Yeah. So I kind of jacked it all in, and then my partner at the time, we started up this custom garage which was called Skull and Pistons Garage, which is now shut down, and we started off by customizing a Cortina, Mark II Cortina, but it was quite full on. It was a 4-door car, and we did a 4-inch roof chop, which is a nightmare on any car, let alone a 4-door car. Like, don't do it, just don't do it.
Oh shit, yeah, because you don't think of that, do you?
No. Oh my God,
that sounds so. Obviously, I don't do it, but like I've never once kind of thought of that.
Yeah,
go on, carry on. Sorry,
so difficult. Yeah, like custom glass is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So yeah, we chopped the roof. We de-seamed it, de-pumped it. We just basically completely cleaned up the silhouette and just changed it, because a Mark II Cortina is like a child's drawing of a car, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite boxy. and we just totally changed it. It had a Mustang scoop on the bonnet,
Yeah.
and it's one of those cars where we took it to a few shows and people would be like,
What is that?
what is that?
Yeah, I
and
love
it
that.
would start really great conversations, and it was just something different, and we really wanted to start off by doing something really quality and really different, and kind of create a look for our business. And so I worked really hard getting that in magazines, on the internet, took it to shows, got people talking about it. It just kind of jumped in there and went, this is what we're doing.
Wicked.
Because
that's what you have to do that. Like,
you have to do
especially to get your name out there, especially if you're starting a business, like stuff like that. It's always going to like push you forward. Was that your first like challenge?
Yeah, that was our first. We used to work on our own cars. Because Stephen, who was my partner at the time, he had a classic Mini. We had a couple of Land Rovers. He had some old bikes. So we'd done stuff on our own cars, but this was the first kind of commercial project.
So, and this was all funded by you, or was it for a customer or a client or anything?
No,
or it was just
it should have been for a client, but because we hadn't done anything, you can't then get a client. Do you know what I mean? So it was just us. I've still actually got that car.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, amazing!
It's for sale if you want to buy it.
How much was it?
We'll talk about that.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking, right. So you jumped it. You sat there. You've got okay. Yeah, I want to customize a car. First car you customize. Any reason what Cortina, or is it just like that's what you had? Or
I love classic Fords.
Okay, sick.
Absolutely love them. And what we'd done is we'd bought Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3 Cortinas.
Amazing.
So we were going to kind of.
That's not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
At the time they were though.
What year was this?
At the time they were. So we started in 2013 or 2014.
Yeah.
So like they weren't crazy money.
Yeah. Okay.
And then randomly, this production company rang me up and said, we're doing this show, Goblin Works Garage, but at that time it was a slightly different show. It was very engineering based, and I just sort of said, look, with all due respect, I'm not interested in TV.
Yeah.
All I want to do is concentrate on playing with cars.
Yeah.
I'm not an engineer. So you need someone with more experience. And then they rang back again, like, it was probably about 6 months later.
Yeah.
Within which time I'd learnt a hell of a lot more. I'd learnt to weld. I was doing a lot more on the mechanical side. And they rang back and they said, it's going to basically be cars. It's not going to be like all these other different things. It's going to be cars and bikes.
Oh, so when you say it was about like more of an engineering, it was actually on anything.
On anything.
Oh wow! All right, I thought you still meant like don't get me wrong, not engineering, but
no,
car
like
based.
It could have been.
If that makes sense.
Boats, could have been anything.
Oh wow! Okay.
So they rang back, and then, like I said, at that time I'd kind of learned a bit more, and I thought, well, I may as well just go and have a chat with them.
Yeah.
And at the time I was driving around in this really cool Capri. I had a Mark III Capri, because we used to buy classic cars and flip them.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So we do tiny bits and flip them as well as doing the big custom. So, I wish I'd kept that car.
Really? What year was it?
It was I don't know what year it was. It was a Mark III, but it was the 1.3. It wasn't anything
like mad
big, but it was just it. Honestly, then there was no rust on it. It had all the brochures from the showroom. It was pristine.
Amazing.
And it was one of those cars you could leave it not running for 2 weeks, turn it on, it would go.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have sold it.
Yeah, no. Hang on. Yeah, so you're talking classic cars and one that starts first time.
No,
two things that you
especially
never
Ford.
find in the same sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went to talk to them, and then they we all got on really well, and then they set up the program. It started, it was made, and then we're in at the end of the second season now. So.
You just said off camera as well that you did media at uni, or is it uni or college or how?
It was college. Yeah, I did media production at college.
Yeah,
and I was really into surfing and skating, and I've kind of always liked those sort of subcultures.
Yeah.
And so all of my videos and photography that I used to do were always based around skating, because all my friends are skaters. So
So did that effectively knowing obviously it's college, so you're quite young, but then did that ease you in or give you more confidence? Because obviously the way I'm looking at it is going from not having any TV experience, not even considering it as a career, then someone approaching you being like, do you want to be on TV? And then all of a sudden you're thrown in the deep end in a TV program.
Yeah, definitely. Well, when I did media production, I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I was always behind it. I wanted to direct and take photos. And then I went off and did visual merchandising. worked in the fashion industry, and I started a fashion blog, and I used to go to Fashion Week. And
so the fashion blog was how? Because I need to say this in a second. So was that when you put up when you had the t-shirts on, the Broke Boys t-shirts, and you sent me over a blog, didn't you?
That's it was my fashion blog. I then took it and flipped it and turned it into a motoring blog.
Okay.
So I literally deleted all my stuff.
Yeah.
Use the same platform and just switched it all over.
Okay,
so
cool.
now it's just a motoring blog.
Yeah.
But your t-shirts, I found out about you guys at Fitted a couple of years ago.
Was she there?
Yeah, I went with my friend Dave, who wrapped my Z3, and my friend Kane, who is on I'm Not Driving That with me.
Yeah.
We were filming at the time.
Oh, Kane's the like the receptionist guy. I don't want to call him that. I feel like
no, he was
okay,
in the show. He was,
yeah.
And he was really new to cars. Like, he didn't really know anything about cars.
Yeah.
And I said, I took the Goblin Land Rover to
Fitted
and convinced them. Like, the day before, I was like, let me just park it in there. So I did, and took Kane along. And
what Land Rover is this?
It was a Series 2A. It was from Series 1 of Goblin, and we slammed it. It's really cool.
I can't remember.
It's all bare metal, and it looks like it's got like a raked stance on it.
Maybe. Whereabouts was you parked? Do you remember? Like, because there's...
Oh, it was right in the corner. It kind of on the opposite side of the room to you, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. The worst thing for me is I don't get the opportunity to look around.
Yeah.
But then even so, like, because I'm
stand.
there every year, I'm still trying to like look around and actually go, right, like what's here, who's who, like that sort of thing.
Fitted is such a nice show as well.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like they curate it like it's a giant art gallery, and I love that about it. I think they do such a good job with that show. Yeah. The only annoying thing is it clashes with another show I go to.
What other show?
It's like a bike festival called Malamar.
Is that every? Oh, they've changed this year.
They changed the weekend. Fitted changed the weekend as well.
They're 3 weeks before me, so I've got my show on the 28th of June. So that means they're the 7th or something like that.
Okay.
It's like, is it that right? I don't know, but they're like first week of June. Yeah, because they're usually in July, because they're usually after me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're sponsoring the show this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
I'll definitely have to go then. So we found your stand.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is genius, because I am literally always broke because of my cars.
Yeah.
And so, I bought like a sweatshirt and a t-shirt, and then I went on and found out more about you guys, and then I ended up like wearing it on the show.
Yeah, amazing. No, because what happened was, obviously we got to establish this. So you came over, bought that. I was none the wiser. Do you know who you bought it off of?
I can't remember. Like, we all bought stuff. Me and Dave both bought stuff, and we were like, "Oh, this is just both."
It's
of us.
so weird as well, because
broke.
like that's like like such an old line now. That must have been where. So you're talking about you was over in the corner in that huge hall, the biggest one.
Yeah.
Because they've got their entrance hall, the carpeted hall, which is like it's like a
not
U-shape.
the carpet hall.
He was in the huge one, right?
In the big one, like in the corner.
Yeah. So, I'm sure.
Was we under like 2 years ago?
Yeah, we was under a gazebo as well.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, I don't even have a gazebo set up. I've moved on. No, yeah, that's so sick, because you messaged and said, I've put you in the like this blog that I do, and I was like, oh, amazing. So I like read it, kind of like thought nothing of it. Like, I've just gone, had a look, and then like messaged you back. I was like, oh, thank you so much, and left it at that. And that's not me even being rude, but like what happens is we get so many people like message us, and like sometimes like I open them, read them, reply, forget, and just kind of go past it. Yeah, like it's not. I don't mean that in a rude way, but like there's so many people sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm just like right, and so I've gone through, left it at that, and then it comes to when was second series? When did it start?
Second series. Oh my God, when did it start? January. Last year.
Yeah,
no.
I was gonna say
this year. No,
it wasn't this year. It was last year sometime.
I can't even remember.
It was second series you wore it, right? It was 100% second series.
Yeah, it was second series I wore it, definitely. But it was, but the second series was broken into two parts. So half of it was shown, and then there was a gap, and then the next bit was shown, and I can't even remember when any of this was. But
yeah, no, it was definitely last year at some point, and like all of a sudden, like I'm sitting indoors, and I go on my Instagram, and I've got like tags like in so much stuff, and I'm like, I haven't posted anything at the minute, I haven't said anything, like what's going on, and then like all of a sudden I'm getting tagged in like people watching TV, like taking a picture of the TV with like you in the blue sweatshirt that you do. I was like, what the hell, like what is this? Like so I at first I saw the first one really blurry. I thought it was like someone on like the news or something.
They're like, what has this criminal done in one of our t-shirts?
No, we've had that. Well, no, not a criminal. We've had it before where like oh, it's quite funny. There's a boy and a girl that followed us for years, and they had a broke boy and a broke girl hoodie, and they've gone to like a car meet, and the BBC've turned up to like kind of advertise that they're boy racers and all this sort of stuff, and they've asked to do an interview. So I'm getting, at the time, this was years ago, I'm getting tagged in these two people giving an interview for the BBC, both wearing our jumpers, like boyfriend and girlfriend. So I'm thinking, like, at first I was like, it's that.
Yeah.
No, this girl's wearing your sweatshirt and a TV programme. And I thought to myself, I looked at it, I thought, right, is this mine, or has somebody like else produced the same t-shirt?
Oh no.
But no, yeah, then I went on and obviously found out so much more about you. Started actually watching the programme, which is obviously amazing. And yeah, like thank you so much, by the way.
Oh no.
I owe you for the advertising.
No, don't, because like I said, I bought it from you guys because I thought they were both awesome, and I think I wore the t-shirt a couple times, but because our workshop was so cold,
Yeah.
I ended up wearing the sweatshirt more.
Yeah.
But I just loved, like, when I looked into it, I loved your whole kind of ethos.
No, I appreciate
and I was
that.
like, I am always broke because of my passion, and that's what
that
it
literally,
kind of represents.
literally what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's like there's like two sides to it. There's I'm too broke to buy or even kind of get into my passion, or there's I'm too broke because of it.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
depending on what side you're on. There's been, I think it's like broke with stickers on like an Aston Martins. There's one in Portugal. It's this massive Porsche Panamera. It's the 4-door one, isn't it? Yeah. There's one on one of them out there, and like he loves it, like stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, flattered. Thank you so much.
It's just a message that translates to everyone, I think.
And
especially if you're into cars.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
even if you can afford to get into cars, you end up broke somewhere along the
Yeah,
line.
100%. So when you were saying about okay, so you started in fashion, you wanted to get into cars, like I'm like really interested in that side of things, but obviously I've seen the last episode that you shot of season 2 where you're at the NEC and your dad's there, and you said, Dad, this is the reason with the 30, you was like, this is like one of my biggest like styling challenges that you had, and this is why I've got into it thanks to you. So I take it your dad's into cars too, and that's where you...
My dad loves cars, and just when I was little, I had loads and loads of toy cars. Loads of them.
I was saying this the other day. I had the same.
And then even I had Barbies, but Barbie had a Ferrari. So it was all about cars. And he was just really massive into cars. And when we'd go on holidays, we'd car spot, we'd go to car shows. It was just, there was never any day that wasn't about cars. And then as I was growing up, my friend and I across the road used to try and make cars out of things, and it was just, it's never not been there. And when I was about 17, he had a really nice BMW 3 Series. He had some really good cars. He had a Peugeot MI16 at one point. I don't know if you remember them, but they were really cool as well. And yes, he had this 3 Series in grey, and I was learning to drive in my Fiesta, which was like dead slow. And he let me drive the BMW, and I was just like, holy shit, this is amazing, because obviously you just put your foot down a little bit and it's gone, especially in comparison to a Fiesta.
What 3 Series was it? E36, E46?
It was an E36.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think like age, era, like what I was thinking when I was learning to drive, it must have been the 46. I don't even know.
Yeah,
no,
maybe.
it might have been more by that time. But yeah, go on, carry on.
And
it
was just a really cool car. Really nice colour. It's in grey. And so when the second series of Goblin came along, and we sit down and we throw ideas around about cars. And initially I was going to do an MR2, a Mark 1 MR2. And then we kind of took that off the table, and then we were sort of talking about BMW E30s. And I thought, I'd love to do a BMW, just because of that memory of kind of going fast in my dad's car. And although it wasn't going to be the same model, we kind of wanted to go a bit older.
Even so,
it was just, the whole kind of memories. And he was supposed to come to the unveiling of it, but he was sick, so he didn't see it. So that was the first time he'd seen it.
Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, is this the first time he's seen it?
Yeah, it was the first time he'd seen it.
Oh, brilliant! And
So.
From his reaction in the film, I assume he liked it.
Yeah, he did. My dad's great because he likes classic cars.
Yeah,
he doesn't. I think he thinks we're all mad, us lot, for like messing about with cars and cutting them up, but he appreciates it.
Yeah, good.
So, and he could see what had gone into that car, because that was a mission of a project.
Yeah, I was going to say, from obviously seeing you on the programme, and then like seeing you like even on social, and like the car meets that you'll go to, you are very like classic car based. Would you say like that's kind of
definitely
where you are?
Yeah, I love classic cars. Like, I don't drive around in new cars. My daily driver is 20 years old. My Z3. So I test cars and review cars, and they're
Yeah.
normally new cars, and it's quite nice doing that because I come from a different point of view because I don't drive a new car every day.
Yeah.
So I'm amazed by things that other people are like completely used to, and they're like, that's not.
Mate, no, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same because I had my classic Mini. I'm trying to think what I've had in the gaps. I had a Mark 1 MX-5. You said you had an MX-5 project.
I have
right?
got an MX-5.
What mark is it?
Mark 1.
Oh, wicked. Okay,
Yeah.
so I had a Mark 1 MX-5. But I went from the. What did I have in the kit? I had a Polo at one point, but I didn't. It was like £100. I needed it because the Mini broke down. So.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so like my actual cars, like the Mini was obviously the one. Then I had the Mark 1 MX-5, which was. Weirdly, do you know what? I think so. My classic Mini was 1989.
Yeah.
My MX-5 was 1989, I think, as well,
okay.
which I think was like one of the first years. And then I've just bought a Rover 213S, which is another 1989 car.
Really weird.
I've only just noticed that. That's well strange, isn't it?
That is cool.
But yeah, I'm the same. So because I'll get into like a new car and they'll have like a feature which has been out for years.
Yeah.
And like.
It's
I'm
like
like,
witchcraft.
oh my god! Like I can't believe they're doing this. One of the best ones for me was my cousin got a she's a mum, so she's gone and got herself like some it was like Toyota, some 4x4, I don't know.
Yeah.
And standard mum car.
Yeah.
And it's got the whole kind of like overhead camera thing when she parks, comes up on the screen. Have you seen that?
What?
Right, hang on. So it's as if on the screen, on the centre console,
Yeah.
instead of having like like sometimes you get like reversing cameras.
Yeah.
There's cameras on the sides of the wing mirrors, at the back and at the front, and it draws a picture of the car, and it's as if there's a drone flying like 10 metres above your car, and you can see the cars next to you because the two side cameras are picking it up.
That's really weird.
Yeah, you can see back and front, and you literally watch a bird's eye view of the car reverse into the bay.
Now that is witchcraft.
Isn't it mad? I was
It's
like, how have
crazy.
they done that? But that's a normal thing. Like I think the Audi's come with it now. I think the RS7 or the S7 or A7 or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. I think they all come with it, depending on obviously what one you get. Because I'm sure I've seen a video of someone filming that saying
Yeah.
how mad it was. Which was crazy because
That
I'm
is
used to.
crazy.
I still get my Rover every morning and pull out the choke and wait for 10 minutes for it to.
Right? Proper
Mad,
driving.
yeah,
It is proper-
exactly.
The thing is, with all these gadgets and things on cars, they're lovely. Like we say, when we get into a new car,
Yeah.
we're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, it's really nice to have for a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But if people become used to that,
Yeah.
to all those aids and things like
Yeah.
that, I'd love to put them back in a car with no power steering, with no sensors, and actually see how they do.
Yeah, we were saying this the other day. I said it on one of the other podcasts. Like back in the day when I was learning to drive, like my desired car at the time was like a Corsa C. Like which, when I look back now, I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh, like it makes me shiver a bit. I don't mind. I still have like a soft spot for them because it was like
Yeah.
the first car I wanted. But like that sort of thing, I'm like, I'd mates that Corsa Bs, like which even older, Clios, but I don't know what mark it is, but the ugly one. Like, do you know what I mean? And I look back at times like that and think they were the first cars we wanted. But now, like I literally know 17-year-olds that like step straight into, I don't know, like an A3, S3, like Audi. Like, and I'm like, what?
I
Like,
know,
yeah,
it's
oh yeah,
crazy.
what's your car that you want for your first car? Audi A1. I'm like,
What?
an Audi A1? Like that
Yeah.
was crazy back in the day. That was so good. One of the funniest things that you said that actually like made me laugh out loud was, and it was like on the little kind of like coming up next section of the show. It was, I like steak and V8s. That you said when it was about the Fiat 500.
500 electric
Oh
car.
my god!
yeah.
Like it cracked me up. I was just like, oh, I know exactly who you are now. Like obviously, I need to gauge who you were as a person, and that just made me like. I wrote it down. Like I wrote some notes, right, and I was like topics to cover. But literally, that was the one quote.
Leafy vegan
Yeah.
marshmallow.
Yeah. So I take it like you're. I don't want to say purist is wrong, but you're a petrol head, like
I'm
for
a
sure.
combustion engine.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. It's not even that. Like, I know there has to be progress.
Yeah.
This is probably a conversation for another time. I don't believe electric is the
It's the
way.
one,
I think
yeah.
hydrogen's the way. But
Yeah, agreed.
but I think I don't like cutesy cars.
Yeah.
And the Mini does not come into that because the Mini can
Oh.
look mean as hell.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
So,
yeah.
but the Fiat 500 for me, I appreciate it. It's a lovely car.
Yeah.
But it's just not for me because it's too cute.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying because the bit that I couldn't get my head around was you drive it to, was it like a show that you drove it
Yeah.
to? So you drive it to this show, a buyer comes, and it's Ant, right? Is it the guy that does it with you?
Yeah, so there's Ant and Jimmy.
Okay,
Ant's a Canadian guy who does
Yeah,
the bikes,
yeah.
and then Jimmy's the one with the chops.
Ant's in the back. I'm
Yeah.
like, how did he get there?
Well, annoyingly, the funniest thing was watching him get out of the car, because those seats don't go forward very much.
Yeah, well,
so he had
that's
to
what I'm
come
thinking.
through in the middle, and honestly, it was the funniest thing you've ever seen, but they cut it out of the episode.
Oh, so
was
that's
him getting out of the car. It was hilarious.
Because I had the classic Mini, and like the seats, obviously they stay solid, don't they? Come up, when you push them forwards, and like trying to get like, I don't know, like I've got like rugby mates or something. Do you know what I mean? Trying to get in the back. I've put them in the back before, and like watching them get in and out was hilarious. So when I saw you driving, I was sitting in the back. I thought, well, how did he get there?
It was so funny. It's such a shame they cut that out, because that's hilarious.
Right. So I don't want to be too stereotypical with the questions that I asked, but like, what is your favorite? What has been your favorite build out of them all? Just obviously because that's what you're known for, essentially. On Goblin, yeah.
BMW E30,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
From the second series, and then the first series would be the Capri with the V8 Coyote V8 in it. That was just, I love that car. It was awesome.
I'm trying to think what
it had. Like
we did the black one. Was it black?
Yeah, we did a grille on the front of it, looked like a Dodge grille.
Yeah, amazing.
And it had like big arches. It was that was wicked, that car.
Because you said because it was its second owner it was on, wasn't it? Wasn't it? It was like two.
Yes, yeah.
And they changed the wheels. He said that really bugs me.
I get why he did it, because the wheels that were on it, the brakes get hot.
Yeah.
But he still had kept the wheels.
Yeah.
But the wheels he'd put on it were actually really nice. It's just I think the wheels we'd put on it were just such a statement.
The wheels you put on were silver, right?
Yeah, they were like drag racing wheels.
Yeah, and he put on, I think it was like gold, but it's like got a silver stripe down it.
Yeah, they were like they were gold. They were image wheels, I think.
Yeah, with a bit of dish on it. Yeah.
They look good. They did look good.
Yeah. When you said it, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know how well that's going to go down with him. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else to you about that as well. Oh, the E30. So when it comes down to like styling, because obviously in the program you're like hugely like the aesthetics girl.
So with the BMW E30, I'm massively influenced by Japanese cars.
Yeah.
JDM, street racers.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted a bit of that into the BMW, but I also love motorsport.
Yeah.
So I was looking at like the old touring cars.
Yeah. They've got those massive wide.
Huge wide
air
things, massive wings on them,
yeah.
and like the BMW art cars. And so I looked at so many things to then kind of think, okay, I want to inject all of that into the car, but then also make it our own, so it wasn't just copying everybody else.
Yeah.
So the whole idea with that car was just make it look like a street racer, or something that you would get in a computer game. Yeah. Or something that would be like a Hot Wheels. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I understand. How it's not in a assumptive way, but how used to air ride are you? Because
that's
obviously
the first time we'd used it. So I used airlift on it.
Yeah.
I'd never used it before, but I'm one of those people where I would just put so much stuff on a car. Yeah. I want it to make noises. I want it to look cool. So, and the thing with that is, to get it to go along and actually be able to drive it, it needs to be up high. But then sitting quite high, it doesn't look great. Yeah. So when it was parked, I just wanted it to be a lot lower. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously because we centre ourselves around modified cars.
Yeah.
So like in our industry, like
everyone uses it.
Air ride is like airlift, like performance, any of them, like it's like a standard thing.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Like everyone has to have it. Yeah. There's like a thing. It's like if you don't have it, it's like what? Like is your build complete? Like,
what do you mean you haven't got?
Yeah, you haven't got air ride. So obviously when I saw you do that, and 3SDMs as well, were they like custom? Yeah. Were they like custom made?
So I'd been stalking 3SDM for ages, particularly those wheels, and I was just thinking, what can I build to put these wheels on? Because they were like based on retro motorsport wheels. Basically, they kind of done their own thing with them. And when the BMW came on the table, and I just honestly wanted to go balls to the wall with that build. So it was the bespoke body kit. I wanted really amazing wheels on it. I wanted air on it. I wanted to do an engine transplant. So those wheels, I just thought perfect opportunity for this car, because it was kind of influenced by motorsport.
It matches the especially like the modified air ride scene. I don't really want to call it that, but
so their wheel, they did exist as a wheel, but they never made them for the E30. So they made them so that they were
was it stud pattern?
4-bolt for that car, and then they made them to the width and the size of that car. So they were they ended up being expensive.
I know you said, I think it was on the program, you said like £1,000 a wheel, wasn't it, or something, or close to that. Oh my god!
But like they're so beautiful.
No, I know.
And wheels make or break a car.
Oh, 100%. No, I completely agree. They looked great. The car looked great. What engine did you put in?
So it had an engine from an E46. It was a 330 Ci Sport. Yeah. I would have loved to put an M Sport engine in, but it just the budget wasn't.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Mini. So obviously I'm going to talk about the Mini. I think anyone listening to this podcast gets sick of me talking about Minis because I keep mentioning them because I've did it with most of the boys as well. It's like obviously like standard first car. You said your ex-boyfriend had one, right?
Yeah, he had a Monte Carlo.
Oh,
Monte Carlo, it was really nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe a little bit more extreme than mine. Mine's like in pieces. Because obviously I think that was the first episode, I believe.
Yeah, first ep of season 2.
Yeah, so I looked at that and I was like, oh my God, like I'm in now for the whole season. Yeah. Like, this is me. The grill, obviously the most impressive part. You guys came up with that. So because it was a Clubman, I love the Clubman. I think it's got a really nice mean front on it. And we did a bespoke grille on the Capri in Series 1 that was very kind of lean and sleek, with nice lines on it, very much like the front of a Charger. Yeah. And so we wanted to do that on the Mini to make it, because the whole idea with it was like a muscle Mini. Yeah. And that is a very muscle car kind of grille. Because obviously I've sat for hours looking at like every Mini option ever. Mine's the normal kind of round nose, I think, or whatever they're called. But yeah, I've looked at every Mini, every option, every style for years. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like blown away by it. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, like, because I hadn't seen that done at all. And to not see something done on a Mini is
God, it's so hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
That was the challenge, because we always wanted to do a Mini. And we were like, if we do it, we've got to really do it well. Yeah. Because everyone's done Minis. They look good ratty, they look good pristine. Yeah. Like, anything goes with them. Yeah. But yeah, taking that grille was just really nice, because it was a sort of nod to the first series. Yeah. And the grille on the first series on the Capri, to make it road legal, you had to be able to take the parts off that cover the headlights. Yeah. So they just clip out and put back in. Not that you'd ever take them out when you're driving, but you know. And so Jimmy came up with the idea to do a similar thing on the Mini grill, but so they were actually kind of automated. Yeah. So you could just press a button inside and they...
And that actually allows it to pass the MOT?
Yeah. I believe so.
You hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
if not, just take the grill.
Yeah. And then it was anodised gold because the Mini was black and gold. So,
and that was all to do with... it was very like a... Is it John Players?
Yeah, it was kind of like, influenced by the whole kind of John Players special.
Yeah, did you say that in the episode?
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah.
Cool. I was going to say, because like I couldn't remember, but yeah, like looked very like it, and it was a 1275 cc.
Yeah, I think it was in the end.
Because
it wasn't when it was bought. It wasn't that.
Was it 998?
I don't know what the. It said 1275cc on the side, but it wasn't. It was something else. But then it had a new engine in it anyway.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, they never are. Like literally, I bought mine as a 998, and it's actually a 1275. Like they look the same, right? So, and when I was 17, 18, insurance was way cheaper on a 998. So, now it doesn't matter because I'm 26 and old and get shit insurance. Oh, I get decent insurance now, not shit insurance like I used to. So you mentioned earlier on to me off camera again that you are potentially moving to LA. Can we talk, because you mentioned that you did you've wrote something with Ant?
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to like expose any future plans and opportunities.
I can't talk about it too much, but
no. Like as in like just the concept, the idea of what you're going to go hopefully do.
Yeah. So Ant is on the show with me, and we're together. Yeah. And we. Years ago when I first went to LA, I was like, oh my God, I have to move to California. I love it so much. Like the car culture over here is just amazing. People are amazing. Obviously the weather's great. Yeah. And when I met Ant and he went to California, he thought the exact same thing. And so since we've been together, we've been back and forth to California a lot.
Yeah.
And we're like, we have to move out here and try and take what we do and do it out there. So building cars, racing. I'm getting into racing, so I'd like to do that over there.
Amazing.
And then we've come up with an idea for a show which we'd really like to do out there, which is, you know, fingers crossed we get to do that in the future as well. But just basically what we're doing here, we just want to pick it up
And put it
down
there.
and do it over there, but just do it better.
Do you have you still got to pitch this idea to like I don't know how it works. Like this is a completely new area.
Yeah, it's, you kind of, I guess, you know, you come up with an idea, you sort of pitch it to a production company, same like you do over here,
Yeah.
and then they kind of run around and try and get it made by whoever.
Yeah.
You can make, the good thing now is you can make stuff yourself.
Yeah.
If you really want to,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can do something on YouTube, so you've just got to have backing to do it.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we know, anything car and bike related is super expensive.
Yeah.
So but we'll see. But it's a really nice idea. So I think however we do it, we will do it.
Yeah.
If it ends up being YouTube, then I think that's kind of a nice thing, because then you're sort of in charge of what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I've kind of, that's how I moved like over the years. Like I kind of realised, because like I said, so I did a drama degree, and like I kind of, the reason I think I got out of drama was because, well, not got out of it, I was never really in it, but do you know what I mean? It was kind of like, it was so hard. Like you either had to really know someone and have that opportunity, or like you had to kind of know your stuff.
Yeah.
And like the likelihood of anyone coming out of uni, you just don't have a clue. Like
Yeah.
you're just going to go to audition after audition. Like it's just going to be like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it'd be hard work.
Yeah, they know what they're looking for. Like if you walk in the first 2 seconds, they're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemed like an impossible task.
Yeah.
So for me, like that was doing all of this. I was like the opportunity's there now, especially with social media, like
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you can kind of take your own thing, do it yourself, and then I think the opportunities now arise after that. I think that some people
Yeah.
might see you do it and be like, oh, actually, you're really good at that. Like, would you
Yeah.
like to? I think that's a potential. So have you pitched it to anyone or decided or?
Yeah, so it's kind of in LA at the moment, so we'll see what happens with it. And then over here, I've kind of started a YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get a series going on that,
Yeah.
which is kind of revolving around me training. I'm drift training at the minute, but to
Yeah.
get into Gymkhana. So
Yeah.
I just kind of want to document that. But it's like we were saying earlier, it's really difficult trying to do it on your own.
Oh yeah.
Trying to set up the cameras, and
Yeah.
then obviously I'm trying to train at the same time.
Yeah.
So I probably need somebody to come in and help me.
Yeah,
to do it.
100%. Yeah, I was gonna say like I tried vlogging for a bit, and like as much as it was okay, it was like when I went to Fitted, I think I might have been vlogging at that Fitted.
Okay,
I went
yeah.
to, like to a small audience, like nothing like impressive. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like trying to remember to like do all the stand stuff, like
Yeah.
actually sell products at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And with like some friends that are just helping me.
Yeah.
And then remember to vlog, and I get towards like the end of the day, I'm like, oh my god, like I filmed nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially drifting, yeah, like that's gonna,
Yeah.
you definitely can't be holding a camera.
No,
at that.
exactly. And the trouble with the thing with drifting is like you do really need your own car, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
found like I've been to a couple of different drift schools, they're all really amazing,
Yeah.
but I need my own car.
You can't get used to it. Obviously, jumping.
Exactly.
jumping in
You're
someone
always
else's.
in a different car, which is okay, because then you're learning to drift in different cars. So that's kind of
Yeah.
a thing on its own. But I've got a Mark 1 MX-5. It was going to be a fast road car, but now that I'm doing this, it's being tailored for drifting in Gymkhana.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a hydraulic handbrake in it. It's going to
Yeah.
have a welded rear diff. It's going to be stripped out. It's got a turbo on it.
Yeah.
It's going to have an extended lock, so it's just going to be totally set up for it.
Drift spec,
And
yeah.
like, you know, Mark 1 MX-5s are so diddy,
Yeah,
they're so
yeah.
light. I just feel comfortable in it. And
Yeah, I
think-
found it quite hard to drift. So I say that I had like there's a 1.6 and 1.8, right?
Yeah, so I've got 1.8, which will be turboed
Yeah, you got
as well.
you got the one that everyone wanted. Because when I tried selling a 1.6, everyone was like, "Is it 1.8?" I'm like, "No, it's the 1.6." They're like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm alright, thanks, mate." But it took me ages to sell it. Yeah, in the 1.6, like non-turbo, like I found it so hard to try. I could kick the back end out, but like it
Yeah.
was never out for long. Don't get me wrong, I can't drift. Like I've never tried. Like I mean, as in this was like maybe on a dark night in a car
Round a
park.
roundabout.
Yeah, yeah. Like to be honest with you, I don't even think I got balls enough to do that. I live right next to a B&Q. There's a massive car park, and it's so funny. My mate like still ruins me for it to this day. So I've taken the MX-5. Bearing in mind the one that I bought was very clean. hard top, everything, and they've got these massive barriers that they shut, but the MX-5 is so low you can just drive underneath them.
No way.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's on like it's on a hill, so as you like go up into the B&Q car park, they're like on a hill too. But this was how we used to test if we were low enough, like when we used to like have our own car. So like my classic Mini fits underneath. So the only thing you have to watch out for is they like chain them. The chain hangs. So you get someone to jump out, hold the chain up, and everyone just drives underneath.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So I've taken the MX-5 in there one night, and it's been snowing for about 20 minutes, and it's left like this really small, thin layer of snow.
Brilliant.
So I was like, wicked, I'm going to go do some handbrake turns. So I said, yeah, fuck it, like, why not? But I have to be careful because my mum is like 100 metres away. So if I make too much noise, like we can hear.
She'll know it's you.
Yeah, we hear, not really anymore, but back in the day, we used to hear cars go over there, do the same thing. They never used to have these gates.
Yeah.
Since I put the gates on, people don't go do it. And you used to kind of sit there and even watching telly, you just hear a bit of screeching. You think, oh, fucking hell, how long is this going to go on for?
Yeah.
So like this one night, I'm like, right, I'm going to go in there. So I'll give it a good go around. There's a couple of lampposts in there and stuff. And I was like, really messing it up. Like I wasn't doing very well, so even in the snow. And I was like, right, I've had enough. I go to drive out, and it's like a little S-bend to drive out.
Yeah.
I'm driving out at about 5 miles an hour. I'm on my phone quickly texting just before I get onto the main road. And like I've turned the steering wheel, it just carried on going straight, and I hit a wall at about 5 miles. So I've done all this drifting and missed. Oh, I say drifting, all this handbrake turning and missed everything.
Yeah.
And managed to crash the car at about literally about 4 or 5 miles an hour.
Oh no.
Yeah, just turned the steering wheel. My mate Mike was like, Dan, and I was just like, it's not turning, and it just bang, just touched it, but it was enough to take off a big old chunk of paint. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I think the bumper had been resprayed at some point and just not lacquered properly, so it like one bit peeled and like the rest came with it.
Just
so I was
fell
like,
off.
oh.
Oh no.
So yeah, do you enjoy the MX-5? How much have you actually done in it?
So mine was not a clean car.
Yeah.
I have a habit of buying shit boxes. Honestly,
I love that.
And now banned me from buying any more BMWs because I bought that Z3, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the MX-5, I wanted a Mark 1.
Yeah.
Mine's from 96, so it's not a really old one.
Yeah, I think mine was literally first year or second year they made them.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to. It was just the one I found and could afford. So
did not even mean to get
no. It was no different, but yeah.
And like it was great. I loved it. And I was it was a bit of a rolling project until the point where like I couldn't roll with it anymore because it actually had it had rust on the chassis rails.
Oh wow!
The rust on the arches, like you could fit your fist through it. It was rotten.
How much did you buy it for?
Oh, way too much. I think I bought it for just over 1,000.
Oh, well, I think mine was like spotless, and I bought mine for like 1,500.
Yeah, I was totally ripped off.
Oh wow!
But there we go. Never mind. But it was so low. The guy who had it before had lowered it, and it's like it was just ridiculous. You couldn't go over any speed bumps. You had to find a route around them.
Yeah.
But it was just a lovely little car, and I really really liked it. No power steering.
Oh no, mine had power steering.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
I'm sure mine did. Yeah, I'm pretty 100% sure mine did, yeah.
No, mine doesn't, so you end up like proper buff arms.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put power steering in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Drifting without power steering is a bit of a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
And then I've just kind of now, it's literally in pieces. It's a Fat Fender who did the body kit on the BMW E30.
Oh, amazing.
And I bought a kit for it, and they're kind of helping me sort all the kit out so it fits properly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go up there soon, actually. I'm going to do some more work on it.
Where is it? Where is Fat Fender?
It's near Preston.
Oh, okay.
So that's up north.
Up north.
But it was just going to be wrapped, and it's just escalated, and now like the engine bay's been resprayed so it matches the wheels. I've got like bronze rotor grids on it. So the engine bay matches them, and then the outside of the car's going to be gunmetal grey, and then it's got a really nice kit on it. I'm going to put a really obnoxious spoiler on the back of it.
Obviously.
MX-5.
Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't do that?
I've got a carbon fibre bonnet on it. I've got a rear diffuser for the back, which I don't really need the rear diffuser anymore. It's probably going to get in the way, but it looks nice.
Good.
And it's got like wider wheels and stuff on it, so it's going to look rad when it's done.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's for drifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You've got to like
put it in a wall. Like it's going to be in a wall at some point, and I'm just going to be like, oh no, it's all painted. But there we go.
Oh, so it's painted.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be painted. It's not painted yet, but because of all the rust repair.
Yeah.
It's got new complete panels on the side.
Yeah.
Like there's probably not really that much of the original car left because it's that bad.
Do you know, I'll be honest with you, like, I didn't love my MX-5.
Really?
Yeah, because so mine was like completely standard.
Yeah.
I sold it for $2,000, but it was because it was bought by like an MX-5 like restorer and collector,
Okay.
which I couldn't really see the profit in. I don't know, I can kind of, but like I kind of sat there thinking to myself, because he wanted to keep it like completely like standard.
Yeah.
So he come to me and was like, right, like this is perfect because it's actually mine was blue, so it was quite I don't want to say rare colour because I've seen them, but most of the MX-5s that it was a Jap import, so it was actually a Miata.
It does sound like you had a really good one, and if you had an actual Japanese import one
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. It was I think it was like literally, like I said, one of the first, not first ones, but first year they were made. Japanese import, so it was like Miata Unis, what are they called? Roadster.
Unis Roadster.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, no wonder he wanted it then. Like,
Yeah. And I sold it for £2,000, so I made like 500 quid on it. But still, like I don't know, I didn't love it. I don't know if it's because I didn't do anything to it, because I kind of jumped in it. I said the only way that I can really compare them. How many classic minis have you driven? Have you driven any? Have you driven one for like?
I know I've driven quite a few.
period of time.
So I used to drive the Monte Carlo one quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It had it had a wider wheelbase on it.
Yeah.
So it used to just stick to the floor.
Yeah, mine was like that. Yeah.
And then I drove, like, my friends had them when we were growing up. So
Yeah.
I've driven loads of like just like bog standard ones as well.
I think I compared the MX-5 to the Classic Mini because
Right.
I was like, right, it was very sticky in corners for some reason. This is why I'm saying, like, it was so hard to get the back end out and keep it out. Well, that's what I found with mine. So like I kind of instantly compared it. It was a small, obviously they're a small car, really. They're long, but they're small. They're still really small.
Yeah.
I say longer than, I don't know, longer than anything of its size. Does
I
that
guess
make
because
sense?
you're sitting at the back of it and you've got that big bonnet in front of it.
Yeah.
It's like with the Z.
Yeah.
It's sitting kind of almost on the back axle, and then you've got that.
Yeah,
in front of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's that whole roadster
Yeah.
look, isn't it? I suppose.
So yeah, I don't know. Like it was just, I don't know. I didn't fall in love with it.
Okay.
So yeah, but I think I would have fallen in love with it if I turboed it. It was 1.8, and I was doing the stuff that you're doing. So I think that would have pushed me definitely. But yeah, I ended up selling mine. So you've got that, and you've got the Z3.
Yeah.
Why the Z3?
Well, right. So I built this. This was supposed to be a practice car whilst the MX-5 was getting built.
Oh, a practice drift car.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's such a shit box, I can't practice in it because I just had the brakes done on it, right? They were absolute shot to shit.
Yeah.
Calipers, everything, just done.
Yeah.
I got it up in Scotland and I thought, I've found a good thing here, because the bloke had put like a really rubbish picture of it online.
Yeah.
And, you know, the description was a bit shit, but it hadn't done many miles. And I thought, I'll go and have a look at it. And the thing is, normally if I see a car, I take money with me and I'll go buy it. Like, don't mess about.
Oh, no, of course, yeah.
And so I went up there, and like this guy, I felt sorry for him. He really didn't want to sell it. He was having to sell it because he needed to get a big boring car for his grandkids. And like I felt so bad because he hated life at this point. Like,
Really?
he was really
He's selling
mad.
his baby.
Yeah, and he really didn't. I don't think he expected me to get cash out of my pocket and say, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, so I bought it from
Oh,
him.
bless it. How old was he? Would you say?
He wasn't that old. He was probably like late 40s, like
Okay.
mid to late 40s. So.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's been forced into it too early.
Oh, totally. Like he wandered off swearing to himself. Like, felt really mean. I didn't tell him I was going to drift it. I thought that might push him over the edge. So I brought it back. Immediately had problems with it. Like it's overfueling. It's still overfueling.
Yeah.
We need to get that sorted. There was loads of problems with the hoses. Like whoever been working on that car, there was stuff done up with gaffer tape. Like perished hoses done out with gaffer tape, so I had to sort all that out, replace the MAF sensor. There's still problems with it. It needs all new suspension.
Yeah.
To be fair, for its age, because it's 20 years old, it's not that bad. It's got no
Yeah,
rust.
yeah.
It's got age-related problems.
Issues, yeah.
So I need to put all new suspension on before I can drift it. It needs new suspension arms, and
Yeah.
I need to sort out the refueling.
So this was the last straw for Ant, then, I take it.
Yeah, and the low mileage I thought it had done, when I took it in for diagnostics, it'd been clocked, so it had done 20,000 more miles. So he was like, right, no more buying shit off the internet.
Yeah. What year is that?
That's 2000.
So you can tell when they've been clocked. Because
on diagnostics you can, apparently. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think they would do it for something that old. Well, not that old, but 20 years old.
Why would you bother? Like, why would you bother clocking that?
I don't know.
But it's just such a pretty car, and that's what I got.
Do you know what though?
Completely mesmerised by.
I'm gonna. Was it that colour when you got it, or did you?
No,
you got that wrapped?
it was silver.
Okay, yeah.
But the paint, it had BMW famous lacquer peel on it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to respray it.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying to you, my mate Dave, who wraps cars, he was actually on I'm Not Driving That. He wrapped a few of the cars on there.
Oh really?
Oh,
okay, that
really
makes sense.
Guy.
Yeah.
I had an E36 Touring at the time,
Yeah.
and I was using it on Goblin as like a custom support vehicle because I could fit loads of stuff in the back of it.
Yeah.
I took around tyres and wheels and car parts, and I couldn't be asked to sell it, but I wanted to get rid of it, and he really wanted it, so I swapped the car for the wrap because it needed loads of stuff doing to it, and he was like,
how wrap? So you would have sold it for? Really, you sold the car for what? Say like 500, 600 quid's worth of wrap?
Well, no, that wrap would have been more than that because it's
it?
it's a matte metallic.
So it's just more expensive.
Yeah, and it's the 3DM or whatever they call it. So it's a really good quality wrap.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So it's worth a couple.
I was gonna say E36 Touring. That's a bit of me. That is.
Yeah,
I love that.
it was a shitbox as well.
Okay, so
that was another shitbox.
I'm getting a little bit of a trend happening.
Oh my god, there's such a pattern. Yeah.
So E36 Touring. Z3. E30 was your favourite build.
Yeah.
Are you? But then you said obviously you like Jap. You've got the MX-5. Are you self-professed German or Jap? Because this is the type of shit that my audience would wanna know.
But then I still got the Mark II Cortina because I love classic Fords.
Okay, cool.
So and my all-time top of my list car to get is Sierra Cosworth RS 500.
Oh, okay.
That is at the top of my list.
That makes sense.
But then just slightly beneath it, probably on par with it, is a BMW M1. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. I like
you like everything.
So many different cars. As long as they're classic. At the moment, I really like 80s classics.
Yeah.
But I like older, and then I like stuff in the 90s. So
yeah. So obviously, don't get me wrong. We touched upon loads of cars that you've had, but like car history wise, are we missing anything cool that you can think of?
My first car was a Fiesta. It was a Mark III Fiesta. That was quite cool.
What was the Mark III one? Is that like the?
It's when it went from boxy to slightly more rounded.
Okay, yeah, I know.
And I had a special edition one, so it had a spoiler on it and fog lamps that didn't work.
Nice.
And some stickers. That made it special edition. Yeah,
makes it faster. That adds horsepower. That does.
Oh my god!
I can't slag off stickers. I sell them.
No, there's nothing wrong with stickers, but it was like that from the factory. Like they were just. It was called the Fiesta Sunray, and they just stuck stickers on it and went ta-da, special edition.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, so Fiesta was first.
Oh, and then I had a new Beetle when they'd sort of
you said
not
this.
Long been out.
Yeah, you said this in the program.
And then after that, I had a Mark II MX-5 for a while.
Oh, really?
Which used to try and kill me on a daily basis. It was brilliant because the rear end on those things go out all the time because they've got a bit more power.
Yeah,
I think it was a 2-litre one.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And
okay.
It was a really nice car, and the back end used to go out all the time.
But you saying about cars wanting to kill you, isn't it the Capri, which is so famous for trying to kill people, or is it the Cortina, which is so famous for Capris are the worst, right?
Because they were quite.
I've never driven one, but my dad's like, they were just.
I haven't driven a fast one because, like I said, the one I had was a 1.3.
Oh, yeah,
so it wouldn't have done much, but yeah, I hear they're quite tail happy. People used to put bags of cement in the back of them to
keep them down. Yeah.
Quite funny.
Just random story. I had a hard drive that broke. I think I might have said this in another fucking podcast. I've got to be careful. I'm going to be repeating myself. But because you said about Fords, it makes sense. I walked into this IT computer place that were going to fix my hard drive for me. Anyway, I get talking to the guy and he said, "Oh, what do you do?" I was like, "Oh, well, I'm like run modified car events, like stuff like that." He was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Mate, I've got this old what did he say? Oh, he's like, "Yeah, I've got this old Ford that I've had for years. Like, it's my first car." I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh, mate, like it's an Escort." And I was just like, "Okay, like what are we getting at here?" And he was just like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just sat in the garage years, haven't seen it." I'm like, "Which one is it, mate? Like, how long have you had it?" He was like, "Oh no, it's a Mark 1." It was like literally my first car. I've kept it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was like there was like a Mexico edition, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them.
Shit the bed.
Yeah, and he's there pretty much like he's like, I haven't been into cars for years, none the wiser of how much the car was worth. So I turned around to him, I was like, do you want to sell it? And he was like, oh no, I'd never sell it. And I said, all right, do you know how much it's worth then? He was like, no. And I was just like, mate, I was like, go on eBay, have a look. I was like, literally, you won't find one. I said, like, what's the condition like? He was like, literally, it's under a cover in a garage, it's been like it for like 20 years. And I was just like, oh my God.
Holy Grail.
Yeah, oh my God. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about I'm Not Driving That. Mm-hmm. So you took cars on there, and basically I gauged from the first, because I've only seen 2 episodes, so I only watched the first 2 episodes, and I gauged from it that it was like more based on taking a young person's car. I haven't seen any of the other episodes, but obviously the first 2
they're all the same really. So yeah, it's young driver's first car normally. Yeah, and if there's something they're not quite great at with driving, like it could be parking or driving on the motorway, then we would send them off to have some extra tuition, and in exchange for them doing that, we would do up their car. So whether it would have new paint, or maybe it'd be wrapped, or have new wheels, and we were limited what we could do with them, because for insurance purposes you can't alter the way they handle, so you know, you can't really do much.
You could tell like it's very
but it was good. It was just a fun little show. Like, each episode is 20 minutes. Yeah. We have kind of celebrity people on in between, and they'll have maybe a wrap on their car, or the wheels, something done with the wheels. And it's just quite nice, light-hearted.
Yeah, I liked it. Because obviously I saw it and I thought to myself, like, it's just... I don't know, like, you can tell it's like people like first stepping into like the industry, like the first time that they like haven't, like, they got their car, first time they want it modified. Yeah. How did you find yourself getting into that? Obviously, because we know how the Goblin... It's the same production company. Yeah.
So I literally made it right before we started season 2 of Goblin.
Oh, okay.
So we did 2 series back to back.
How long ago was it released? Because I literally only discovered it in the last week.
I'm Not Driving That.
Yeah.
So we started filming Goblin in the November of 2018.
Oh wow.
And then was that right? No, 2019. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what year it is. 2020.
2020. Yeah.
So, oh God, I can't remember.
It's got to be 18, surely, because if your second series came out last year for Goblin Works.
Okay, so yeah, November 2018 for Goblin. It was right before that, so it was kind of over the summer we made it. Yeah. And then went straight into Goblin. Had 2 weeks off, went straight into Goblin, which was a year.
And you said that obviously Goblin takes up like all your time.
Yeah, so when we're on Goblin, because for the last series we were up in Manchester. Yeah. So once we're there. Yeah. It's really hard to get to shows and do much else. Yeah. Which is why, since we've stopped, I've really been trying hard to do more race training. Yeah. And do more of the driving side, and the building's kind of taken a bit of a back seat. Yeah. 1, because I've got no money left to finish them, but 2,
I wonder where it's gone.
Exactly. But 2, because I want to do, like, driving's really important to me as much as the building is. So
I've always wanted to get into that side of stuff, but I've just never done it. I don't know why. I just never kind of...
What, like racing?
Yeah.
Dude, you should.
I want to do... Because we've got Brands Hatch, which is like 15 minutes.
Literally, I drove past it when I came here.
So I've got 15 minutes down the road, and I've always wanted to like track my minute. That wasn't ever the plan, but like when it come off the road, I was like, I should track it.
That's what you should do. Turn it into a race car.
I'd love that.
I don't
know where to start. Like, do you know what I mean?
Just start.
Yeah. I went to it's really random. I went to a party, like it was like my mate's mum's 50th or something. Yeah. And there was a guy there, and he's got a I can't fucking remember. It's like the next step up from like a go-kart. Okay. It's like an actual roadworthy track one. Okay. And he does it with his son. And he said, oh, like we've like effectively got like a team and we go races to that. And I said,
that's
like,
so cool.
I said, who's it? Like, oh, like, so you've got to, like, do you pay? He said, no, like, literally, you count as a team, like being me and my son. So he does all the work on it, and his son goes out. Yeah, and I was like,
amazing.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's so sick. I can't remember what it was called, but he invited me down, and I didn't go because I was busy. It was like within like 2 days, like, oh, I'm there on Thursday, and it was like Tuesday, and I was just like, I'm never gonna make that because I had something to do. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
You should definitely turn your Mini into a race car and just have like a broke boys race car. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be so sick.
That'd be so good.
That'd be so sick. I saw that you put up on your Instagram. Have you got a USA version coming for?
No, so it's just Goblin just going out in the US.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so they premiered it before the UK for the first part of the series, but
Yeah.
then they've waited to release the second part of the series.
Okay, so how many episodes is it? Do you know? Or
So it's another 7 episodes because there's a special ep at the end.
So does that
But
count?
it's already been out over here.
Oh, has it already been out of it?
Yeah.
How have I missed that?
So it was out in 2 sections.
Oh no, hang on,
No,
sorry.
you did because you said you'd watched it.
No.
So you know the bit with the NEC.
Oh, sorry.
it was
Okay.
there was a bit of a gap.
I
in
understand, because that's what I've got confused with. Because when you put up earlier on, say, I think was it yesterday or something? I think you
Yeah.
put it up saying it's coming on to
between. Motor Trend, which is in the US.
That's what's thrown me. Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, it's another series.
No,
coming.
it's the same one. It's just a bit later over there.
Have you got? Am I allowed to ask this? Have you got another series like coming for?
We're currently not filming anything for
Okay.
Goblin.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll change, but
Yeah. Is it just like that as well? Like, could it just be like randomly? Actually, we're gonna...
yeah, it could be.
Okay. Cool.
And then I have to drop everything. But I'm not going to drop everything this time because I'm so obsessed with learning how to drift. So I'm getting
Yeah.
Gymkhana. That is like.
I am
priority.
sure. Yeah, like you said, I am sure, especially with like all the stuff you've got planned, like moving to or potentially moving to LA, like when you can, and like the cars and everything. I'm sure you're going to be picked up for something else at some point.
Hopefully.
Especially if you're drifting now.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to honestly document the process because it's so hard, and there's
Yeah.
days where I'm like, I've made no progress, and I'm so pissed off with myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just how it happens, and then what I'm missing in between is just having the practice time.
Yeah.
Which is what I need my MX5 for. So that is really a priority to get done. So I've got something to practice.
The
in.
good thing about
Just
them
can't
is
practice in the Z3.
Yeah. So is that your daily drive now?
Yes.
Are you regretting it and hating it every
Yeah.
time you daily drive
The
it?
other thing that's wrong with it as well is
Yeah.
all the electrics are fucked in it. Like nothing works. One light doesn't work on the front and one doesn't light on the back. So I've changed all the bulbs.
Yeah.
It's not the bulbs, it's
Yeah.
the electrics. And like if sometimes the dials will flicker and they'll go off. So I've just got to literally punch the dashboard and it all comes back on again. I'm just like, for fuck's
I
sake.
love it. I absolutely love it.
But it's so pretty.
Do you know what I was going to say? This is what I was going to say just a minute ago. I think a lot of people were torn on the Z3. You said it's so pretty. I know a lot of people that fucking hate
What
that.
do you think about it?
I don't mind them. Like, I'm not even saying that because you're here. Like, I don't actually mind them because
Yeah.
there's a guy. Oh, I don't know his fucking name or Instagram, but he had one. I think it was blue, and basically it's a car show up in Newcastle. I'm friends with the boys that run it, called Culture Shock, and it's a modified car show, and they
Yeah.
had a guy that used to go over a blue one, which was like on the floor. It might have been on air. I don't want to say that just in case it wasn't, but
Yeah.
and that was like on the floor, and I liked it.
Yeah.
And then recently I did.
Was that one at Fitted?
Might
Because
have
there was
been,
one
yeah,
at
most
Fitted that was
probably.
blue, which was slammed like proper on the floor.
There's, like,
and
a-
it looked like had massive spoiler on the back.
Yeah,
It looked really,
yeah, I
really
think
good.
so.
It
There's
was
a
the
high-
carpeted bit.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I've just recently we held a car meet up Sloane Street. I say car meet, it's more like everyone come here, and then like I disassociate myself with it because it's great for like the first half an hour. Everyone
Yeah.
parks up and enjoys it, but then like word gets out, and then all of a sudden, like this time, we had a guy like doing I won't talk about it too much. We had a guy doing donuts on a fucking zebra crossing in the middle of Sloane Street up London.
The trouble is, right, okay, I know it's all fun and everything, but that ruins it for everyone
Yeah,
else.
he actually messaged and apologised. So I don't like hate the guy, but then like I do kind of like if he said to me like, "What do you think of it?" I would have been like, "This is fucking irresponsible. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing it."
Well, and that's what gets car meets shut down.
Oh,
So
100%,
it like just
100%.
ruins it for everyone
Like
else.
as in, so what I do. We host them up Sloane Street because everyone knows where it is. It's such a great location. It's
Yeah.
wicked for photos. So everyone turns up for the photo opportunity. There's photographers all up and down it anyway looking for supercars. And then photographers that are going to the meet are there anyway.
Yeah.
So like having them like driving down like Sloane Street, getting that photo is
Yeah.
like, I don't like people just love it, right?
Yeah.
So it really works out. But... yeah, you get there and not everyone behaves. So what I do is I usually kind of like go on Twitter afterwards, or like go I don't know, like a day after, or I like literally just start searching news outlets just in case. And like this time, I've got a mate. You see the Mark III Golf, which is on the Can you see it? Which has got a massive crowd around it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty cool. That guy.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing, right? So he turned up and like, don't get you like he put he's revving the bollocks off it, and it spits like it's ridiculous. It sounds like it's just Asbo. Do you know what I mean?
Love Asbo cars.
Yeah. So he bombs it down Sloane Street for about like 10 meters. Really, like there's nothing to it. Like everyone knows he's going to do it. Everyone separates. I don't condone it, but he did it. And then I've gone on Twitter the next day and found the bus that he's holding up behind him. Someone's filmed him on the bus at like this exact moment of him like revving the bollocks off it, and it's like backfiring. It sounds like gunshots. There's like a girl filming it, and there's people screaming on the bus because they thought it was like,
oh, for fuck's
yeah,
sake.
like so, and they were just amazed by the fact that the car would make so much noise.
Yeah.
And everyone's like laughing at the end of the video because they're like kind of like happy that it wasn't gunshots.
It wasn't a drive-by.
Oh yeah, and like I looked at it, I thought to myself, oh no, like I've videoed it, sent it to him, and he was just like, that is hilarious. The reason I brought it up is because I've got a mate who brought along a friend, and he's got the, I don't want to say it, there's an MZ3, right?
The M Coupe.
And it's got the
dream,
hardtop.
so expensive.
He's got one of them.
Yeah,
he said
so
that.
Rare.
Yeah, he turned around to me and said, "My mate's coming. He's got the M." And I was just like, "Okay." He's like, "I bet you've never seen one." And I thought to myself, I was just like, "Have I?" And then like 2 seconds later, pulls around the corner. I was like, "Is that him there?" He's like, "Yeah." Comes down. I was like, "Wow." So like that one.
Yeah, they're super rare.
That makes me it makes me warm to them more as a generation.
Well, the weird thing with those is they built the Z3, the Roadster first, as a soft top, and then BMW the designers wanted to do the M Coupe, and so BMW let them do it in really limited numbers, as almost like an experiment to see how it would go. So they never made many of them. There weren't actually many of the Z3 made because they didn't sell very well because they were so underpowered, which they are. Despite having the amazing straight six engine from the E36, there's just a few bits on them that just make them just lackluster. Which is why it just didn't. They're just a bit gutless. Like they need work.
Yeah. That's the issue with actually. So is it? Hang on. So let me get this straight in my head because I'm not very good. The new one that they've just brought out, is that a Z3 as well? No,
it's a Z4, the new Z4.
Okay, what do you think of that?
I haven't driven it. I was at BMW the other day buying BMW parts because I spend more time in there buying parts than I do driving my car. And I saw a couple, and then I think...
hi Helen, you're right. Welcome back.
What do you want this time? They're lovely looking cars. I haven't driven one. Saying that, I've driven the Supra.
Okay, what do you think of the Supra?
I absolutely love it.
Oh, really? And then,
love it.
Okay, so you liked it to drive. What do you think to look at it?
I think it's beautiful.
Oh,
do you not like it?
No.
Really?
So I just went to Japan in January, and I've got a mate who's like a Toyota fan.
Yeah.
Like everything Toyota he loves.
Yeah.
And I was never. Oh God, I'm gonna get hate for it. I was never a fan of the old Supra. I'll be straight.
Okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. I just don't like it.
I really do love it.
Yeah, no, that fair. He loves it. He was like, "Oh my God," and I was just like, "Oh, I don't know."
It has got one of those shapes where I get why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Because it. Yeah, I guess the lines maybe they're an acquired taste, but I couldn't stop looking at it.
I do. I don't like despise it. Like I don't look at it and think, ugh. But like I just don't look at it and go. I just don't know if it pays like homage to the actual original one very well.
Right.
I don't know if that's just me. I think some people agree with me. Some people won't. I'm going to get like
everyone is so
Toyota
divided on that
fans
car.
hate me.
That is just divided opinion massively. That car anyway.
So what's it like to drive? If the disregarding its looks.
Excuse me. I thought it was brilliant to drive. Like I say, I'm used to driving old cars like you are.
Yeah.
So when I get in a new car, I'm like, oh my God, this is all amazing.
Yeah.
I love the fact it's got flappy paddle.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm a racing driver when flappy paddle. I thought it had enough guts, but it wasn't, untameable. You could tame it and you could drive it normally, and you wouldn't feel like an arse driving because I had the Toyota Supra. No, fucking hell. I had the Toyota Supra. Civic. I was driving the Civic and... Oh, this was the new
one, right?
And when you drive that slow, you feel like an idiot. Because of the look of it, you're like, I have to drive this everywhere fast.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Supra, you can kind of cruise along and not feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. Because I go into the Honda, or just Honda styling in general. Like I'm not a huge... I don't want to say this either because I don't want to like prejudge. This is why I think. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this is why I think I'm into like classics, and I'm like, but I don't want to be like that guy that's like classics only. I hate new cars because I don't, right? But the old Civics, I love. Like I'm like, oh my god, wicked, fine. The new ones, since they started making them look like, I'm just looking at them like spaceships. Like I'm
they do. Yeah,
so I get what you mean because I think because it's so like it's just outlandish. It's so ridiculous.
So like, outrageous looking.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know if because the massive wing and so I get what you mean. Yeah. But how was it to drive? Because
it was super fun. As soon as you put the Supra.
No, sorry, the Civic.
Civic. It was fun, and I love when you turn it on. It's automatically in sport mode. You have to take it out of sport mode if you don't want to be in it. So as soon as you turn the key, it's automatic ASBO.
Yeah.
I thought it was lots of fun. You may as well throw your licence out the window at a policeman because there's no way you'd keep your licence in that car.
Yeah.
It was super fun. I like rear-wheel drive cars though.
Yeah. Oh, is it rear wheel?
No, it's front wheel.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say.
I would never buy one.
Yeah.
I love the fact it looks so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just such a chavmobile.
Yeah.
But I quite like that about it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy it because it's not rear-wheel drive.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And they're quite big now. They're not huge, but they are still quite. Are they 4-door? Or are they 2?
That's the other reason I don't like it is because it was all right. Not that I don't like it. I wouldn't buy one because it's 4-door. I believe they offer the 2-door in Japan and in America.
Okay.
But not over here.
This is a question I thought about the other day, and I haven't asked any car enthusiast about it since I thought about it. So, the new, like, essentially like hot hatches or hatchbacks. Have you noticed the new A1, the new 1 Series? God, what else is there? There was a couple that I thought of. Like even they just about a new Corsa. They're all 4-doors.
Yeah, and the Mercedes as well. The little Mercedes.
The A-Class.
Yeah, they're all 4-door.
Why?
I don't know. I hate 4-doors.
Yeah, so do I. Especially when it's a hatchback.
Yeah.
Because I think what they've been doing. I think what they do wrong with them is like they forcibly put a rear door on, and then like it never really works. There's a couple of cars that you jump into, like new hatches. You open up the rear door, it's like fucking going onto the rear quarter.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You think to yourself, okay, like so you open up the door regardless, and then like when you get in, you find yourself having to really kind of push yourself towards the front of the car to get your arse on the seat.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't be 4-door cars. They're hatchbacks. They should be 2-door, in my opinion.
No, I agree, and I don't know why they've suddenly started doing it. Yeah, the new 1 Series, all of them, they've all got 4 doors. I
would never drive. I would never buy a 4-door car.
Yeah.
Even the Cortina, the Mark II Cortina, I wouldn't have bought a 4-door. It was my ex wanted to buy a 4-door.
So you just hate them completely.
I hate 4-door cars. Not a car. 2 doors. 2.
This is that V8 and the steak attitude.
Right, that is. I'm angry about it.
Okay.
It should 2 doors, and it should be rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive.
Okay, right. So I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna hate me on that one because I like front wheels. Like, okay. I mean, hang on, no, that's stupid. I don't prefer them. That's a stupid comment to make. I mean, as in, I still like front wheel drive. I mean, they're fucking useless in comparison to the fun that you can have in a rear wheel and the speed and fun you can have in an all wheel.
Yeah.
So I get that, but like all of my cars.
It's minis are front wheel drives, aren't they?
Minis are front wheel drive, and like I kind of hate because I've seen people put them in. I've seen people do rear wheel conversions, which is insane. I've seen people do 4-wheel conversions.
How does that change the way they drive? Like, because I've never driven a rear wheel drive mini.
I haven't driven one either.
Okay.
When you look at that, I think they just want to do donuts in them. That's literally kind of the only reason. But it's like, you know, like pivot donuts where they just sit on that like front wheel, whichever way they're going, and they just literally stay. Yeah. But that's kind of all I see them good for. The all wheels, I think, is just to get off the line quicker.
Yeah.
Which I don't slate, but like I just still think to myself, I don't really know if it's what I would do.
It depends what you want it for. If you're Ken Block, who is my ultimate hero,
okay,
and like he needs an all-wheel drive. Like, look at the Unicorn. That is insane. It is so cool. Somebody like that utilises all-wheel drive.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. So, what other cars have you? So, you did a review, or does it count as a review? That Civic.
Yeah.
You took that out and.
Yeah. So I think because I drive classics. And I work on classics, it's just quite nice to just mix things up on my motoring blog and just do a few newer cars. So I've done, I had the Jeep Compass for a bit. Yeah. I had a little Fiat Abarth.
Yeah.
I had the 124 GT Spider. The little Abarth again.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And then I had the Civic Type R, and then the Supra, which I had for 10 days. I convinced them to give it for me for 10 days. It was the only yellow one in the country.
Oh, no.
Because it was great. They gave me a choice of colours, which was amazing. And I thought,
really?
well, I don't like yellow cars, but I'm going to go with lightning yellow because it's really dull and it will stand out in pictures and it will just, make life happier. And I'm really glad I did. And honestly, the attention that car got, because you don't see them on the road because there's not many over here.
Yeah.
It just, people actually were coming over to me to talk about the car.
Yeah.
And yelling at me when they went past on bikes and things. And it's just like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think, definitely. I do understand how it would still have that like whole attention factor. Like, I do get it. I do get the Supra.
And it looks very different. See, at the minute, new cars on the road, a lot of them are SUVs, a lot of them look the same. So when you've got anything, whether it be a classic car or whether it be a new sports car, anything that stands out against that, I just think is really a nice welcome change.
100%, because like what you just said, SUVs have like taken over, haven't they? It's like a mum car thing. I don't hate them, but like
I do.
I don't hate them all. I hate a large amount of them, but I don't hate them all.
I hate them all. But the ones I like are more sort of like edging towards the 4x4s, the ones you can actually do things
right,
with.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, like the SUVs, it's like, I look at the SUVs as, okay, I don't mind that, but I would have, and then it usually follows up with the 4x4 version of that SUV, which makes sense. Okay, something else that I was talking to a friend about this morning, which I want to talk to you about, seeing as you've got so many BMWs, and is BMW's new styling. Yeah. Right, so have you seen, because it gets me angry, right?
To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of it.
Have you seen the, so they haven't released it yet, but it's been like, the Concept 4, did you see that?
No.
I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay, cool.
Because I think a lot of people, a large amount of people will know, and if they don't know, Google it right now, because it's utterly, I'm even on it already. That's how annoyed I am.
See, because I obsess over the older models, like particularly the M1, I kind of like, that's what I look back to all the time. I really don't spend a lot of time looking at new cars unless I'm about to kind of review one. But I
think. So my, I don't want to say dream car, but the car I would have right now, if someone gave me all the money in the world, I'd mostly go out and buy myself a new M3.
Okay.
Like, I mean, as in, there's so many other cars that I would have, but just as like I could mostly drive it every day. I really like it, that sort of thing. And I would, if I had all the money in the world and someone said, build yourself a car collection, I'd most probably have every M3 below it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's cool.
That, genuinely, I'd have the E46, the E36, the E30, what else?
That'd be a really cool collection to have.
Do you know what I mean? All same colour, like something like that. Like, it'd be insane, right? Definitely. So that would be what I'd have. But obviously, coming up in the next couple of years, we're going to have a new M3. Yeah, we're going to have a new M3, new M4. Right, I'm going to show you this, and I want you to give me your. And bearing in mind, it's been leaked, so they've actually. Let me see if I can find it. Is it M4? So they've got leaked photos of the front end of the new M4s. Let me see if I can find the leaked photo, because that's the one. Actually, no, I'm going to show you this, because this is like as close as it is to the concept.
Oh Christ! What have they done to the front of it?
Isn't it horrific? But to the point, the point where do you know
what? It looks like an Audi. Take out that middle bit, and that front grille looks like an Audi.
Literally, so like,
it doesn't look a bimmer, does it?
So at, I think it's Geneva where they usually release their,
which has been cancelled.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, because of Corona. They've cancelled it.
Yeah, because I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll say it out loud. Because not of Corona. In France, apparently, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they've stopped, or they're cancelling any gatherings over 5,000 people. I host a car show.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is crazy because I'm booked to we're going to a car show in Sweden to do an appearance, and then we've got one in Cologne, like the tyre show in Cologne, and I'm like, I hope these don't stop, because this kind of shit really impacts our business. Yeah. Because it is based on people being around cars.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm at a show at the weekend, and I'm not...
I don't know that it will happen over. I don't think you'd be able to put that restriction on people over here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I guess I said I don't want to talk about Corona, but like I guess we're lucky in one sense because we're an island. I was like, yeah, not 'cause we'll be fine, but like just stop people coming in and out. We'll be like, do you know what I mean? Stop people leaving for holidays. We'll be good. But yeah, no, like literally, someone said that to me yesterday. It was like, oh, you know, in France they've stopped any gatherings over 5,000 people, and I was just like, oh no.
Hopefully it will kind of die down.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I think so. But even so, but yeah, no, this came out. So like at Geneva, they done their release of the M4 or the 4 series a couple of years ago. They usually call it the Concept 4. So the concept and the Concept 4 that they released before, it's really mixing me up all these 4s that I'm saying. It looks very like the 4 series that we've got today. Okay. Right? So the Concept 4 as well was, let me see if I can find the official photos of it when they released it. Is very similar to what I've just shown you. So yeah, look.
See, yeah,
I mean,
that's better.
The actual silhouette of the car doesn't look too bad. But like if you just kind of do this, I think it looks so much better.
But if you took away that grille, that could be any car.
I know. I know.
You know, this is the problem. Cars are losing their identity. Yeah. And I know it's because they have restrictions with the way they design them for health and safety and yada yada yada. But still, so my preference will always be classics.
Yeah. Oh, same. And I think as well, my preference is classics because of the ease of working on them. Yeah. These things you're never going to be able to work. Well, you can, but you've got to have extensive knowledge of cars. Oh, Christ.
Lots of
and everything to plug. Yeah, everything to plug it in and know how to use a computer ridiculously. Whereas like the reason I like my MX-5. Oh, does your MX-5 have like ECU or anything?
Yes.
Because of the turbo, or was
we haven't installed the turbo yet. What we're doing is we're getting, because the engine needed a little bit of work, so we're getting it running as a naturally aspirated engine first.
Understand, yeah.
Then we'll stick on the turbo. So we want to make sure do everything the ground up right.
Yeah, I know that some of them did as they got older, but mine didn't. Mine was like bare bones.
I think mine does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were going to map it.
Mine did not. I'm sure it did. I'm like nearly 100% sure it didn't. Okay. Because like you could just, there was no, I did so much work to the thing because I think timing belt, I think it was timing chain or whatever it is on them. Yeah. And I changed that and like, bearing in mind I was like following a YouTube video. I just couldn't afford for anybody else to do it. And like I did all of that work, like nothing came. I'm sure I didn't have it. And that's why I loved my Mini because like it was, you can cut wires and not fry everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I could just cut it. It was like, oh shit, I've cut the wrong one. All right, let's like fucking solder that back together. Yeah. Like worst case scenario sort of thing. But yeah, that's what I really struggle with the new stuff. Yeah. Because I'm just like,
To be fair, that the Z3 is too new because that's getting to the stage where everything, like I said, the electrics are shit in it. Yeah. And so that causes loads more problems, and it's just anything. I don't think I'd buy anything that new again. Yeah. I'd go old again.
Yeah. So going back to like you found yourself in the industry, like you found yourself falling into essentially like TV, right? Yeah. So is that something that you think you're gonna not necessarily stick at, but like kind of be heavily? Do you like it now? I assume. Do you like being in that position, or
it is quite fun because I've met loads of amazing people. Yeah. And you know, people I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet if I didn't do TV. And I do really like it. It's really fun. It enables me to do other things. So from that, you know, I've kind of got a little bit of a basis to jump off from to do YouTube stuff or to do things on social media. So it certainly helps. And
I feel like it's definitely back. Well, it could definitely back you as well, like you said. For any, if you're going to like do your YouTube and then like approach companies and businesses, I'm sure it gives you some sort of like solid base to go from.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of trying my hardest to sort of really get a proper kind of plan together for doing this drifting and getting. I really want to get into Gymkhana. That is my aim. So I'm hoping I can kind of get a bit of a backing behind that because motorsport is so expensive.
Yeah, amazing.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan with that. But yeah, it would be nice to keep doing the TV stuff because it's nice to be able to share. And like with the racing, like I said, I want to share it and explain to people that like anyone can do it. Yeah. Look at, again, Ken Block. He didn't get into, he was like a badass driver anyway, but he didn't get into racing until he was 37.
Yeah, amazing. It kind of gives people hope, doesn't it? Yeah. You know,
and people sort of, a lot of the time, they're like, oh, you're so lucky to do that. I'm like, it's got nothing to do with luck. No. You've just got to become broke.
There you go.
So that you can can
Yes.
work when you can't do whatever. You've just got to just go for it.
Yeah. Obviously that's the thing that a lot of people miss when they say, "Oh yeah, you're so lucky." It's like, no, it's hard work.
It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and oh my god, this guy the other day. Okay, so I do get a few haters on social media. It's why I got rid of Twitter, because I was just sick of the abuse. And I love Instagram because you don't get much of it on there at all. I found it's quite positive.
I'm not a Twitter user, never have been.
Right, so Instagram is just so much positive
in
platform.
comparison.
Yeah, but I've still got Facebook, and this guy, I put a post out about, because Motor Trend is a paid channel in America.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And so I was just promoting the fact that the show was going to be on.
Yeah.
And this guy started having a go at me. He was like, "Oh, we're not all rich. We can't afford these channels." I was like, "Well, I never said you were rich. Like, I'm just sharing that there's an app and this is where you can watch the show."
Yeah. Did you respond? Did you say?
Yeah. And because he was like, "We're not all rich like you." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not rich." And he's like, "Yeah, I've seen you drive around a GTR. I've never driven a GTR in my life. Like, I'd love to." I was like, "Where are you getting all this information from?" So I just ended up blocking him. But I'm like, I think, honestly, people think people on TV have loads of money.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
no.
I put all my money I have into cars, so I am broke. So
I'll tell you a funny one. Have you... do you watch EastEnders? Ever watch EastEnders?
I used to in the past.
Okay, Heather...
yes, yeah.
She lived on a council estate down the road for years.
Yeah.
She literally lived down the road. My mate used to live on the same estate as her.
Yeah.
And she lived there until she must have been about 2-3 years into her career.
Yeah.
In EastEnders. Now, I don't want to assume her bank account. I don't want to assume the money she's making.
Yeah.
But if she was minted, she wouldn't have lived there. No,
exactly.
I'm sure she was like maybe holding out or liked where she lived, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm sure that would have changed it. But yeah, no, we always used to say that. Question that I did have that I do want to ask. Goblin Works is very renowned, or not renowned, but like you take cars and don't do them up in the most conventional way. You take your own ideas and put it into it. You talk about haters. Do you get a lot of haters because, like, the purists? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when I started working with cars, purists are fine. Like, they do their thing. They go to classic car shows as is, and they love their factory spec cars, and that's absolutely fine. But that's not personally what I'm interested
of course.
in. I like to reimagine things, and that's what we do on Goblin. So we restore the cars, then we customize them. So it's already doubled the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do hate what we do.
That's what I was going to say, because obviously I'm in the modified car market. I see thousands of people modify cars and do whatever they want to them, and the majority of the cars that I deal with are like stance, so it's like ridiculous camber, like on air, like and like you get those like purists or people that just don't respect that or like that, and they go mental. And obviously I've seen what you've done to what was it? Is it a Porsche 944?
944,
yeah, like
that
what you
was
did.
Rad, that car.
Yeah, it was sick, but like what you did to that, like really what you did to the E30, like these are not everyday conventional things. So I wasn't sure how much, like, what the reception was. I'm sure like you've got great, but then I wasn't sure you actually had the haters pour in too and go.
I think it was probably worse on the first series because we hadn't built up a fan base. We just came in all guns blazing, chopping up cars here, there, and everywhere. And probably some of the most vocal are the classic Ford fans.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially in the market you're in. Exactly,
and we did get a fair amount of abuse, and a lot of it is, if it's constructive criticism,
fine.
Throw it at us. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but also people need to remember, and it's like, like you're saying with all the modified cars, it's their cars. Let them do what they want.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, obviously they're enjoying life. Like, let them get on with it. And now we're at a stage where we've got a really, really loyal, lovely fan base. And to be honest, they fight our battles for us. If somebody comes on and starts just randomly slagging off our builds that isn't constructive criticism, that's just abuse, then the fans get on them straight away.
Because obviously, like you said, you've established a style now, which makes like complete sense. Like the program does definitely have a style. Like you guys definitely have a style that you like usually kind of follow. I think it suits you guys as well. I didn't want to talk about it too much. Obviously, it's not really anything to do with you, but like the bikes as well. I've never been into bikes, but God, like watching like Goblin Garage actually made me kind of sit there and go, yeah, that's
Yeah,
so sick.
and it's very talented. Like, I like bikes, I don't love them.
Yeah, I'm the same.
They're great.
I appreciate them.
I appreciate them. But I'm not obsessed. I'm obsessed with cars. But what Ant does with bikes is really amazing. He's really clever, and it's generally, if you're a petrol head, you appreciate cars, bikes, planes, boats. You know, it's everything. So it's nice to have both of those elements in the show.
No, definitely. Because I, like I said, I've watched it, never been into bikes at all. I've always been like, why would you have a bike when you can have a car? That's like my attitude.
Yeah.
But then like he fully, like, I kind of sit there thinking to myself, I kind of get why you like them. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the program that did it, but like I do sit there and like appreciate them.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do as much like years and years ago. I was just like, what on it? Why would you buy a bike?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, some of the stuff you've done, I was like, it's not really hate, is it? It's more like the moaners.
Yeah. And I think it's like I say, if people have an opinion on a car, that's absolutely fine. They're really entitled to it. But I just think people need to remember that, you know, it's like when they're at car shows, that might not be their taste, that car, but it wasn't built for them. Yeah. It was built for that person, and that's probably their pride and joy. They probably put all their money and time and effort into that. And I just think people need to just remember that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
just respect that.
Because obviously where Broke Boys deals with a lot of like first time drivers and stuff like that. Like these are like first time cars. Like they're kind of experimenting with like
that's it.
The scene already, and they have realistically, just like I didn't, no bloody clue on what to do.
It's trial and error, isn't it?
So sometimes the cars don't turn out the best, but then we really have to like take on the aspect of like, no, like that's their build, let them do what they want with it.
Exactly.
So yeah, we've been like that for years. We try and support as many people as we possibly can. Some people show me cars and I think, I wouldn't do that, but I get why you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, completely. Let me go through this list. Let me double check I haven't missed anything.
I think also like it's the whole custom scene, no matter what kind of branch from it, you know, it takes a lot of balls for people to do something to their car and then take it to a show or put it out on social media or both and say, this is what I've done. Like that takes a lot of guts to do that, knowing that other people are going to be scrutinising it and kind of giving their opinion on it. So I just think anything people are doing that's kind of creative and constructive, and I just encourage it.
Do you have any, well, I know that you do, obviously, okay, so Z3, how do you think you're going to have it much longer based on your experience with it so far, or have you got many plans for it? Because obviously you said it was potentially going to be a practice car, it's not now.
It sort of all depends on what else happens this year.
Yeah.
So it also depends on when we decide to go to LA. But I would like to... I'm not going to take it as far as any of my other cars, so I'm probably going to keep the original wheels on it. I just want them... I want them refurbed and I want them black.
Yeah.
It needs new suspension, like I said. It's been mapped and tuned, so it just needs the overfueling sorted, and then I would like to put a wing on it and just do a few more graphics on the body.
Yeah, like tasteful stuff.
Yeah, so nothing mad, I just want to turn it into a bit more of a practice car.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. When you're in LA, what do you think the first car you're going to end up buying is?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Because obviously out there, for me, I'm sitting here thinking that's a completely different kettle. Well, not completely different kettle of fish, but you've got some more options.
It is, but I think I will probably stick with what I do. So it probably would be German classics, Japanese classic. It would be what we're doing over here, over there, because there's a big market for it over there. And I love American cars, but I don't know a lot about them. And there's so many people doing that so well. There's no need for me to even try. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like last time I was over there, you see stuff over there that you don't see over here. Like there was a Toyota liftback, which I've never seen.
I've never even heard of it.
Right? And Google it and have a look at it. It's really cool. And I saw it in a car park and I was like, what is that? It's so cool. And so I'd love to take some of the obscure cars they get over there that we never get and do something awesome to them. Do you know what I mean? So there's probably quite a lot of cool things.
This, right? This? Liftback?
Yeah. Is it? I don't know. I don't know if I've got a picture on. Maybe I've got that wrong. No, it was called Liftback. Let me see. But just, you know, they have things over there that we don't have. So there's quite a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. with like very much the same in that aspect. Like that Rover that I just bought was not because I fancied a Rover. I saw a Rover online that I hadn't seen in ages. It was I don't know, cheap car, 850 quid, and I was like, right, I'm buying that. So I just bought it.
850 quid?
Yeah.
Amazing.
850 quid, one owner, 57,000 miles. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, madness. It's pretty clean. Don't get me wrong, it's one of them again. The photos looked better than when I got there. It wasn't as bad, but like I've got like the rear quarter on the left hand side is like resprayed to the point where like they've like there's a masking tape line at the bottom. It's very small, but like you can see like where they've taped and it's just like not blended at all. But yeah, like that as an example, I bought that, and I think for now it's going to be a project car for Broke Boys. I've been kind of daily driving it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally as an example, like I said, I'm 26. My insurance here.
If you flip that way.
Yeah, okay, that
way even.
Yeah, even sort of sick.
But like, it looks really goofy, but it could look really cool.
Yeah, that's so sick.
And I've never seen one before, and they're super cheap.
See, for me, obviously, like coming from like my side of the industry, I'm like, I want to deck it. Like, I'm just like, I want to lower it so bad. That would be.
But even
so
just lowering
sick.
it would just take it to another level.
Yeah.
There's just loads of things I'd like to play with. The trouble is, I know what I'm like. I work on cars and I don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be able to do something else to fund that.
Yeah.
And then do the occasional commission, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I could do your job because I'd be the same. I'm really bad with it. Like even though I didn't really like the MX-5, I did struggle selling it. Like there was something about it, and I was just like, I don't really want to sell it. Yeah. My classic Mini I've had since 2012. I will not sell it.
No,
like,
you can't.
No. And yeah, I had a R53. Yeah, R53 Mini Cooper S, which was the 2004 version.
Yeah.
And I loved the car. It was amazing. It was like a daily driver sort of thing. But it broke down so much, and I couldn't. I tried selling it for ages. No one would buy it.
Right.
I even kind of like had an attachment to that, and I wanted to get rid of it. But like in my head, I was like, but do you? Like, I struggle to get rid of normal, let alone modern, like something that I've sat and spent hours over.
Yeah, it is hard. And I just think, like, from when we first start driving when we're kids, it is just, a car is just the epitome of freedom. Yeah. Because you can just get in it and go. And you spend so much time in your car. And then if you customise it, you're personalising it and it becomes an extension of you. Yeah. So it's really hard to then part with something like that.
Do you know what I always compared them to? This because it sounds so stupid now. I used to love like Pokemon. And I was like, your car is like your Pokemon. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever said out loud.
No, it's a good analogy though.
But like, do you know what I mean? I used to like, because I always loved that kind of concept. I used to watch some other program when I was little. It's called like Megabots or Metabots or something like that, and they had their own little robots. Yeah. And then when I got my car, I was like, this is mine. Like, oh my
exactly.
God. I was so happy with it. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why if I could, I would have just a garage full of shitters that I mostly don't touch, or just because I bought them, liked them, and kind of kept them. But yeah, my Rover that we just bought, like, I kind of look at that and go, I wouldn't want to sell this. Like, I don't know what, I haven't done anything to it. It's completely standard. And it sounds, I've blown a hole in the exhaust. It sounds ridiculous. I look like you see me come in, if you closed your ears, you'd see me come in and think he's 80. And then like I pull up in a snapback and it's the loudest thing you've ever heard. Pull it in here, I have to like fully like clutch it just because of the amount of horses there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like literally just pull in. I went past a police van the other day, pulled up on the side of the road and things to myself, oh no.
I always do that, right? So
Clutch. Like
it's quiet it down. But I do that because I've got my I haven't got the number plate on the front of my car because when Dave wrapped it, I just haven't got around to putting it on, and I was like, oh, it's so pretty without it. So I've just boy raced, put it in the front windscreen. Every time I go past the police, I'm like, don't look at me, don't look at me.
But most of the people that I know don't run front plates, and it's just I said with the MX-5 actually. Yeah. I bought it was a little thing at the time. It was called they were called static plates, and they're like those ones that stick on and you can just peel up, and they're like flimsy.
Oh, I've never seen one of those. Yeah, so you can take it back off again straight away.
Oh yeah, they're like you stick them down to metal. they're not sticky at all. They're like
They're
dry.
static charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stick them on the metal and it stays on, and you just peel them off when you get anywhere that you don't want it on anymore.
Yeah.
So obviously the front end looks so much better without a plate.
Yeah, they're not made for plates, are they?
No, like where?
Yeah,
like,
where'd you put it?
So I used to literally put it on the front at the top of the bumper, sort of. It was still a ridiculous place because you could see it, but it was at an angle.
Yeah.
But one day I'm going down like a back road, and I just see the plate just fly off. And I was just fuck! Like, so I went back for it, but it was destroyed. So I ended up driving without one. And I was the same. I was just like, just driving off it. Please don't fucking see me. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Cars look better without front plates.
They so do.
Yeah. No, is it America you'd have to run a front plate?
Depends what state you're in, but
really?
I don't. You're supposed to have them in California, but nobody does, and I don't really think you get pulled for it.
I think, I don't know if this is correct now, I'm going to say it out loud. I think we're the only country that runs rear yellow plates as well.
Okay.
Everybody else runs white. Or in America they've got like the different surrounds, aren't they, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I hate that too. Like, I look at some of the ones with like white plates. I think to myself, I'd much rather that. Just a white plate on any colour car.
Classics, when they've got the black plates, look so much nicer.
That's something as well. Like my classic Mini, I never used to run the black plates, but I know a lot of people that did. So I don't know. I think now I'd most probably risk it and just keep coloured ones in the boot.
Yeah, as long as you've got a spare set in the boot.
Yeah, I'll be, sorry, like I forgot to change it. Yeah.
Not that we condone any of this, of course. But,
No. But no, I only missed it by... Oh, no, I missed it by a fair bit, actually. It's 89, I think. The black plates were like 70-something.
Oh, okay.
So I missed it by like 10 years, but even so, like, there's no difference between my Mini and one that's in the 70s. You would never notice.
You'd have to have a really bored policeman to go, hang on, what age is that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like they would, unless they know their shit and knew about cars, then, yeah, I think they would, because mine's an F-reg.
Okay.
So unless they really kind of sit there and they know off the top of their head like what reg it is, and
exactly.
Actually you shouldn't be running the black plate. But I know loads. I know a couple of boys that have run them and got pulled, and then sorry, and then they swap them. But then I know a hell of a lot of people that run them and said they've never been pulled.
Yeah.
I think the only time that you might get pulled is because you went London to Brighton Mini Run, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have seen the car there. I definitely.
I didn't know you were there because when I was listening to your podcast and you said you were there, I was like, how did I not?
I go like every year.
Yeah, because I knew of you before that.
Yeah. No, amazing. It's so sick because that's what I've found. Obviously, approaching people as well. Obviously, from your point of view, you're not going to see it like this, but like some people are so inaccessible. You can't get hold of them. They don't reply. Don't see DMs. They just don't. Whereas like I'm like, you're on telly and you replied to me. Like you're like, that sounds so stupid.
I try and reply. Well, I kind of already knew of
you,
so
of course.
I don't reply DMs to anyone who I don't actually know.
Yeah,
just
of course.
because it gets ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't, and also like some of them are psychos.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
But I always sort of say to people, I don't DM, but I'll always try and reply to messages on.
But I still felt that you were accessible, if that makes sense. I still felt like you were, I still felt like I could have mostly commented on a photo and been like, oh, like, do you know what I mean? And like you interact.
That's nice to know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I always try and make sure that Broke Boys is accessible to everybody. Like people message me, like I think it's just OCD. Like I will not let a DM slide. Like I open them all and like either heart it or say something. Yeah. But then again, I'm not female, so and I'm not an individual personal account. And I think
get you.
Do you know what I mean? That's worse. I would hate that. But even so, but yeah, no. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Like it was like,
thank
so
you
cool.
for inviting me.
Yeah, it was so cool to know that you knew us before as well. Like I said, when you with the I'm not driving that. That Tara girl that you had on. Oh,
Tara was amazing. Yeah, she was really awesome.
I thought to myself, I swear I've seen her before. I can't remember where. I'm sure she's been on TV before. I think she's been on like the news or something.
Maybe. I know that she does run car meets and she goes to car meets.
Yeah.
And like from I'm Not Driving That, like the instructor said she was a really good driver, and I did say, I was like, Tara, you need to pursue this.
Yeah,
You need to do something with your driving. It's really difficult because it was technically a kids show.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to communicate with the contributors on the show outside, so I can't personally DM them or anything to kind of say this is what you need to do. So I was just hoping she kind of looked into it herself.
Yeah.
Because she was a really good driver. She
Yeah.
was really nice.
So I quickly, because I was like, right, I recognise this girl, and I typed in literally Tara. On Instagram, she came up.
Yeah.
And like she was following Broke Boys as well, so I was like, oh my god, like, do you know what I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
like it's just cool to see. Like it's cool to see that people actually know who we are. I think I might underestimate myself or underestimate the expansion sometimes.
But it's really nice. It must be nice when you think, oh, okay, I didn't realise you know about me, or whoever it is. It ends up, it is actually quite a small community, and it's nice that people kind of share.
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm excited to see what you do in the future, 100%.
Thank you.
I hope that, I hope your LA dreams come true.
Yeah, well, when we go over there, you have to come visit because you said you've never been.
I would fucking love to.
Yeah, so
definitely. Because I like I said, I was talking to Jamie in the first podcast. He said like LA somewhere you got to go, and I was like, yeah, and I mean it's like one of those bucket list places, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, and I have a tour guide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wicked. All right, cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Oh,
you.
actually, do you know what? Before we stop,
Yes.
where can they find stuff for you? So, blog and stuff like that.
So my motoring blog is called Quarter Mile Style.
Yeah.
So if you just put Quarter Mile Style into Google, it comes up.
Cool.
And then my Instagram, which is my main platform, is Helen Stanley Official.
Wicked. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.